Thank you, Jack. Toastmasters, Kate. Kate was giving her number 4 talk, a fact-finding report out of the Speaking to Inform Advanced Communication Manual. Her objectives were to prepare a report on a situation, event, or problem of interest to the audience, deliver sufficient factual information so that the audience can make a valid conclusions or a sound decision, then answer questions from the audience. I don't see any reason why I can't, with a great deal of confidence, say you met all of those objectives and you did them with your usual grace and a clarity. It was a very interesting report. I think this talk is probably part of your strategic goal with respect to all the things that you talk about when you come here and talk to us about WIP. And I'm guessing that at some point you're probably going to use this in a report or some other presentation that you're going to make, which really is why we come to Toastmasters, to practice what we want to say in front of a good group who can give us feedback. And then we can take that information and do an even better job when we go out and speak in the public. You started off, slight glitch, didn't draw any significant attention. You went to Jack and he took care of it the right way to do it, very low key. You came in and you stated an issue that you wanted to talk about. You gave us 2 areas of research that you used to come up with your presentation, and then you said, and by the way, we also went and spoke to people. So you substantiated, gave your credibility to the subject. What I would have done at that point, though, is I would have talked about the conclusion that you wanted us to draw from your presentation. You did it at the very end, and I said, oh, if I had known that in the beginning, maybe I could have picked out a few pieces of data early on. You had mounds of data, maybe a little bit too much, and I probably would have toned that down a bit. Your use of the chart I thought was great. It had, I think, 4 graphs on it, had a lot of information, and when you talked about that particular chart, instead of just letting us flounder, you went to it and said, pointed out what you were talking about. So then, because I'm a visual guy, I like to see things, so that helped me narrow in and identify what you were talking about. You made a couple of statements where you offered a piece of data, but there was no context to it. And so I didn't know, well, is that good, is that bad? So perhaps if you give a comparison with other regions or within our region or whatever else to help highlight and say why this is a point of concern. Your conclusion, I thought, was fantastic. I kind of, whoa, okay, here we go. And then you went right into it and you did a great job. You also had to answer some questions. You handled that expertly. You had 3 questions. You identified the individual you were speaking to. You called them by name. You listened attentively and respectfully, and then you answered their question. And you answered their question, but then you also took time to drive home the point that you wanted to make from your entire presentation. So it was a great presentation. You ended the question and answer piece gracefully. You did a great job. I congratulate you. I'm looking forward to number 5. Mr. Toastmaster.